and they might look like, you know, you look and you think he's harmless as well. You just look like you can't hurt him.
Don't be fooled.
You know what I'm saying? But if you come around the wrong path, you get it with him. You know, and I just feel like everybody plays similarly. You know, one of the player that I think I wish everybody saw his potential is Pogba.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
You know, Pogba just didn't. But N'Golo Kante, my word. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, man. When you have a player like that in your team, yeah, success is your guaranteed success, bro. Seriously, guaranteed success.
That's crazy. That's another question. I think this is a good question because obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing. If Fabrice was starting out now, but with the knowledge and wisdom he's already gained, is there anything he would do differently?
For the number one, I wouldn't need an agent, bro. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta touch on that. You gotta touch on that. You
Yeah,
gotta
bro.
you gotta drop some nuggets there, man.
I wouldn't need an agent, bro. I wouldn't. I know 1+1 = 2 in it. So yeah, I wouldn't need that. If I need somebody to do a contract for me, okay, give me the contract. Let me go and see a lawyer, and we'll do. That's it. Yeah. I think that's and I mean, I would I stick around at Arsenal? Nah, I'm glad I made the decision to move away from Arsenal because it made me the person I am today. But
Go out your
in
comfort
terms,
zone.
yeah, I had to move away from the comfort zone. I had to because I wasn't playing much. I wasn't even in a even in a match day squad. So why am I staying around for? So I mean, moving away from it, it's the best thing I've done in my career. In terms of agent, nah, bruv. As I said, how can somebody can learn this thing in 10 minutes and go negotiate a contract of £3 million? Please tell me where's the maths in that one?
Mm, mm. Do you think they're like vultures then? Because I do think there is good examples of agents, but do you think, obviously, you know, like you said, you know, these are footballers are typically young people from humble
Yeah.
beginnings. They see someone in a suit or whatever, and they're kind of, it's like rappers being signed up to labels. Do you think agents are kind of like out to kind of get them? Did you have negative experiences with
No,
agents?
I had a good one, but at the end you're like, okay, it's business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They were, you know, at the end it's like business at the end of the day, and I feel like I don't need him because he makes money off me. If I'm
Yeah.
playing well, they'll make money. If I don't play well, they won't make money. That's the way to look at it.
And then they got other clients as well.
They've got our client as well. So, you know, all you need is somebody who can read the contract and change what you need to change and take it from there. I don't need somebody to look at it for me and make a decision for me.
Mm.
You know.
That's a very, very interesting talking point. So what do you feel about, to touch on your other point about, you kind of said like not staying at Arsenal, you kind of wanted to get out there and stuff. What
Mhm.
do you make of young players now? Because you see it all the time. Young players are not necessarily just listening to the sweet lies clubs tell them. You know, you saw Jadon Sancho leave City, go to Dortmund, and look where he is now. How do you feel about it now? Because it seems like players aren't really waiting. They're going where there's a clearer pathway, or they're just kind of doing what's best for them, rightly or wrongly now.
Listen, when you play like the under 23 football, you're still playing with your mate. It's not much of a competition. There's no
Facts.
much of a reward behind it. When you move away from that comfort zone and you start playing man football, that's
Mm.
a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. Because going on loan, yeah, for the football club, it gives them actually the market value of you as a player.
Yeah.
Are we worth to invest on this young player? Are we worth of give him a new contract when he come back in, depending on how well he does? Or are we worth? Is it worth that? You know what? He went along, done well. Let's just sell him and we can part company. You know what I'm saying? But also for you as a player, it makes you a man straight away. It makes you a man because you went from because when you go along, your mom and dad not going to get involved on team talk. Your mom and dad can't call the coach say why my son's not playing.
Mm.
That's not that's you have to really earn the right to get into the team and to play, you know, and playing week in week out, especially in front of fans, is the best thing in the world, man. You have to be out there, you have to play and enjoy it and test yourself against the best if you have any chance to climb up the ladder.
Mm. What's the, obviously I can see completely off topic, but I can see the pictures behind you. What's the, you know, what's the biggest shirt you've ever swapped with someone on the pitch then? I know you
Big
got bare of them.
there's gift I've got. There's shirt that I've got. I've got Patrick's shirt from
Oh,
Juventus when they won
oh.
the league. I've got Frank. I've got Makelele when I played against Claude Makelele. I've got Ronaldo. Uh, I've got Messi when I was ill. He sent me a message. He sent it to me. I got that.
How did that work? You messy Bridget.
Bro, I don't know. I woke up in the morning and I got like a whole. I woke up and I got a present from Barcelona. I said, "Wish you well," but they've got a shirt actually from Messi. Like, I wish I was like, "Raw, Messi really not man out here." Yeah, okay, it's not that type of party in it. So I got that. I got Wayne, Scholes. I got Gerard. The best one. The best one. See this one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first game at the Emirates. The first game at the Emirates was Dennis Bergkamp testimonial
His
game.
testimonial, yeah.
Wow. We went into the Ajax change room, yeah. I've got every legend signed my shirt from every legend that played with Bergkamp from his youth team to when he's old. Name anybody, I'll tell you, I've got the signature in that shirt.
Say it off.
Got it. Who?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Anybody in that era that played with
Yeah,
Dennis?
you've got a man. I'm trying to think of an obscure name. I can't think of one. Nah, you probably got them all.
Marco, Frank, the brothers, the whole of his
Yeah, you
youth
got
team.
everyone.
They all signed my shirt, but I went in there. It's like, please. Yeah, no problem at all. That's for me is the best shirt. That's shirt. Yeah.
That is lit. Edgar Davids. That is lit.
Bruv, David, the boys brothers, Van der Sar. Who else is there? Like his whole seed off, but they're like the whole his youth team at Ajax that signed the shirt, my shirt.
Everyone.
Yeah. Bobby, if you see the queue of all of us waiting to get into the change room, yeah, yo,
He must have been pushing your teammates.
It was like first come, first serve, bro. You got to get in there and get it done. You know, get it done, man. That's sure there. Obviously, that I was happy that I met Maradona as well.
Flipping. No, you've done it all. Obviously, I can't not have you here, bro, and not ask you some questions now, specifically in relating to you. The first thing I want to ask, if we take ourselves back, obviously at White Hart Lane, you know, the unfortunate events that happened with you.
Yeah.
Talk me through that, man.
Well, you know what? It was just like a normal day. Like, you know, I was looking forward to play a game of football like everybody else. You know, we traveled to London the day before, and I sorted out everybody's TK. Going to the game, I was fine. There was no issue at all. It was perfectly okay. I had no problem. And then we went to the stadium, have a look around. I knew I was starting, so it's not, you know. So when the game started, so if someone was in front of me, I'll see two of them. So I become I'll become blurry. I couldn't shake it up. And literally out of nowhere, and it just bang fell down. That was me done, man. That was the last time I was able to play professional football.
That must have left a sour taste, but at least you got your life, my guy. So what? You just woke up in the hospital, like?
Well, I woke up. It happened on Saturday. I didn't wake up to Monday.
Bloody hell, you must have had so many questions in it. Thank God, man.
I was in disbelief. I was like, nah, that didn't happen to me. I was like, yeah, whatever. People said to me, yeah, it happens. Nah, never, not me. Nah. I couldn't believe this happened to me. But
that's some madness.
I was fortunate that it happened in the best place that I could wish for, and I had the best medical staff that can ask and wish for the day. You know, I had 4 doctors 10 seconds away from me. I had an ambulance which was about 10 seconds away from me. I had a cardiologist in a stand who came to watch the game. So you almost like everything just line up so that when
it was to happen, that's the perfect time. God forbid.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, listen, I'm happy that I'm still here, and I'm unfortunate enough that obviously, yes, my career had to stop, but I'm happy that I'm here and I get to enjoy time with my children and enjoying doing different things, you know.
Thank God, man. You gotta thank God, man. Obviously, moving away from that, bro. If I ask you some questions as well,
Yeah.
some quick fire ones. You was obviously a centre mid. What would you say is the three most important things to play in there?
One thing you gotta have good vision. You really have to be able to, you hear this in the academy. You need to be able to scan to the point where you can't scan anymore. You just keep scanning, and also, you have a different range of passing.
Mm.
Be able to pass the ball, and defensively, just be difficult to go past you. That's my thing. Obviously, if you can add go into your game, that's great. But that's for me, be able to scan, be able to pass the ball, and also be able to defend.
Was you always like a tough tackler in midfield, or did you ever want to play somewhere else?
I actually started as a centre back. That's where I started as a
Yeah.
Swedish centre back. Yeah, yeah. And because we were short on numbers, one of the game they put me in midfield, and I played well. The coach was like, "Okay, you can play there for time." Then that was it. But it's with me, I never wanted to be a glory player. I'm just wanted to do a job for the team. So to me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I need to do for the team.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense. That makes sense. What is it like to lose on a match day? Like, is it, is it on your mind all weekend? Is it on your mind all week?
You keep it going Saturday evening, Sunday whole day. Um, Monday you need to get it out of your system as soon as possible and just get back into it, because the game comes thick and fast. You can't be dwelling on the past and waiting on, oh, I wish we could have done this. That's gone already. So you just have to, yes, you are upset to lose, but there's another game around the corner. So you can't feel sorry for yourself every single time you lose.
Mm. What would you say about players playing through injuries? Because a lot of times fans say players don't care, and I know for a fact a lot of players do care, and they play with a lot of niggling injuries. What do you make on players playing through injuries? Is it wise? Is it just something that goes with the game? What is it?
No, I think that the same injury are bearable, but the same injuries is like, you know what, it's not worth the risk. Because at the end of the day, the intensity of the Premier League, the pace that the Premier League has, you'll need to be fully 100% to keep it up. Because when you play with, something like hamstring, you get found out with about 4 and 5 minutes, because it's just up and down, up and down. When you get a knock on your knees, it's very difficult to play, and a knock on your ankles, because you got to look at the league. It's very competitive. So I would have preferred to have someone who's 100% fit to be able to play the game.
Speaking of that and midfielders and injuries, if we move this on to Arsenal, what do you make of Thomas Partey? Because he's someone that has been basically fit this whole season, but he's now currently injured, and he was injured at the start. What do you make of him and his injury record? Is that someone Arsenal, we know his qualities there, but is he someone Arsenal can keep relying on?
I mean, that's why they brought Jorginho into the team, because as Ateta said, he let go of that French that Belgium lad, sent him to
LOKONGA, yeah.
to Palace. So I said, no, I need somebody with experience, and he brought in Jorginho. With Partey, I always remember his first game against Man United, bruv. That man was on cruise control. You're like,
Yeah.
this is guy is what he's
A
bringing
man
to the table.
possessed, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, wow, he's a big player. I don't know if it's a girl thing or whatever it is here, but you need to put that aside. You know what I'm saying? No, man. Listen, it's one of the big. You have to understand. It's one of the big fundamental players. I can tell when I was like, yeah, this man is on a girl thing. So yeah, I know
Loves
straight
the, we
away.
say London lifestyle.
Listen, bro, I see one in the picture. It was too many chain. I said to myself, is this the brother or is the rapper? Because I wasn't sure which one I'm looking at.
Sound like Soonest now, bro.
Bro, I'm like, all right, okay. I see. Listen, he's an unbelievable footballer. He's an unbelievable footballer. But if he can sort out that side, then you have a longer career. But as I said, it's a good. I can't deny that he makes a massive difference to Arsenal. He makes a massive difference. He's physically strong. He's able to get up and down the pitch, not a problem. But if it's a thing, if it's a side piece thing, boy, brother, just yeah, allow it in it. Wait till the summer, then we can move on.
Oh my days, man. What do you make of Jorginho as well? Because you touched on it, man. We might as well talk about a couple of our midfielders. What have you made
Nah,
of Jorginho?
I just think I feel like Arsenal like to pick Chelsea second fiddle, like second best. Like George, than his time at Arsenal, than his time at Chelsea. He
Mm,
just comes to Arsenal. He doesn't have the leg anymore.
mm.
Do you know what I mean? So if he would have come to Arsenal when he joined Chelsea, rather than join Chelsea, come to Arsenal, then would have even be a better position.
Mm.
He keeps the ball really well. He's a very good ball. He likes to manipulate the game really well. He's not a party. He's not going to get up and down the pitch, but I see why Arteta brought him to the team because he knows how he's experienced enough to know how to to play the game.
That makes sense. What do you
You
make of
know,
Granit Xhaka?
the Granit Xhaka of 2 years ago and this Granit Xhaka is two different players. Right now,
What's different?
he play with so much freedom. There's two people behind him who's able to do his job. So which
Mm.
means he doesn't need to come down to do other people's job. He just needs to be up there and to focus. His range of passing is very good. His range of passing is very, very good, especially when he passes them through balls. He catches off guard. You're thinking, he's a very good footballer. I said when Arsenal didn't have Thomas Partey, Xhaka was doing two jobs at the same time.
Mm. Mm.
Whereas now he's more effective up at the top end of the pitch than it is at the back. But his turnaround, a lot of people feeling towards him because obviously remember when he got subbed off, it was just giving it all, the whole big I am thing.
I
Now,
was at that game, man, and to see
yeah,
this transformation is different, man.
it's a different player. He's a totally different player, and it speaks volume to what Arteta has done behind the scene to get his arms around him, to get a better reaction off him.
That's facts, man. And like you said, I was at that game. I think it kind of shows where we are as a club because I don't know if I was in the minority, but I didn't agree with what Xhaka did, but I didn't agree with the fans and he's human being. If you're telling him to F off, Xhaka's a volatile person. He's
Yeah,
entitled to say it back to you. Just because you're fans doesn't mean you could talk to him any sort of way. So I'm happy we've turned a corner, man. What have you made of Xhaka of the last 4 games, though? Because as much as I like him, I think his form's kind of dropped off a cliff. Partey's injury means I probably wouldn't drop him for Leicester. But if Partey was fit tomorrow, I'd probably go Jorginho and Partey in midfield together with Odegaard in front.
I mean, the past couple of games has been very difficult. Obviously, Man City was a tough one. Man City was when you're up against Man City,
It's a madness, yeah.
yeah, you know what to expect. Aston Villa again. Aston Villa give you different dynamic. Aston Villa they love to run around. They'll close you down and make it difficult for you. But I still feel like Arteta trust Xhaka a
As he
lot
should.
more.
Yeah.
Because of what he has done in the past. So you rely on him to play really well. And this weekend it'll be very difficult. And I don't see him changing midfield. I see him going with the same midfield. But it's just how they react.
What have you made of El Nene? Because he's injured at the moment. It's come out today, signed a new deal. What do you make of him and his new deal and what that might mean for us moving forward in midfield? Because we probably need a couple in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, this probably a conversation been happening for over a couple of months now. I mean, Arsenal, you don't just wake up in one morning saying we're giving you a contract. This probably has to be a conversation where Arteta feel like he's part of the team. He can be addition to the squad, and obviously he might not get the same game, but next season Arsenal will be involved Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Premier League. So five competition at the same time. So you need a squad to be able to compete at all front. So giving him a new contract, it makes sense to keep him in the club, and as long he knows that his game time in the Premier League might not be as much as he would like to.
What do you make of Lokonga and Maitland-Niles? Because obviously Ainsley's been on loan for a year. Lokonga's been here for a couple of years. He went to Palace. What do you make of them and their futures at Arsenal?
Ainsley, yeah, the kid, yeah. I asked a question. What's his position?
Sometimes he plays centre mid, sometimes he plays right back, left back. Utility man, innit? Jack of all trades, master of none, essentially.
But he ain't no James Milner, is it?
He's on that, but without the James Milner consistency.
Is it a James Milner though?
Nah, it's not because James Milner's reliable, bro.
There you go. So for you to say you can't rely on the man, yeah, just cash on him in it. It is what it is, man. And not biggie, just better. Yeah, no, nothing personal. Like you've been good servant to the club. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, the young Belgium lad. I see why Odegaard was so frustrated to play next to him.
I can see it as well. I think everyone can.
You can see why, because he he feel like the game needs to play at his pace. Like you got get it move, go to the next one. Like you get it with the next. Does he even play for Palace?
I
Is he
mean,
even getting the
he's
team?
come off the bench a couple of times, man, but it
There you
ain't,
go.
it
Like
ain't doing much.
there you go. So that just speak volume because you need to be going in Palace. Say, you know what? I'm not coming boss here, but he's not doing it. So
Go on.
you know he's not bossing it like that. And I think again, you know, I know it was Vincent spoke so highly of him,
Said
but
he's
I
like
don't.
Yaya Toure. He lied to us,
That
man.
must be his brother or son, because
Yeah, he got money. You spoke about dodgy agents. He must have got some money from
wow.
that move, man. He
I don't
must
know
have.
if I need to send Vincent to Spectator because boy, whatever Stevie Mama tell you, I'm not buying that. Cause no.
But what do you think? What do you think is up with him though? Because you mentioned it, yeah. And I'm not comparing him to Perlo, but he's got that thing about him where he does everything
What
at
thing,
one
bruv?
pace without
What
the
thing?
ability.
What thing, bruv?
You see how Perlo does that thing where he just it's
What,
all at
bruv?
his pace. Huh?
Don't say that to the kids.
No, I'm not
Like,
comparing him. He doesn't.
no.
He has it without the Perlo ability, and that's why I don't get with Lokonga because he does. He hasn't got
You
that
know what?
ability,
You
but he
said
does
the
it at
right.
one pace.
You said the right thing. He does it without payload ability. Yeah, let's stop
Yeah,
at
no,
that.
that's my point.
I mean, yeah.
You can't do that, innit?
No, you can't. No, you can't. As I said, I don't know what Vincent's got part of the deal, but boy,
Is it
I
a
need to
mental
check.
thing with him?
Bruv, I'm like this brother thing like he's on cruise control, bruv, but he's not. Yeah, like that. I look at him thinking, okay, I'm trying to figure out what this man is all about, but I'm all right. You know, you know, you know what it reminds me of?
You're gonna do it dirty, innit?
It's like another ping pong, bruv. Because
at least Frimpong put himself about in midfield as rubbish as he was,
That's what
though,
I'm
man.
saying. But Frimpong has too much mouth on himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whoever Lokonga, it just doesn't.
He just looks like a dog that needs like a dog that's been out in the wet and just
don't
needs a
like.
hug, man.
I'm watching him thinking, somebody tell him this is not Belgium league, bro. You need to move hard. You need to move quicker. But for some reason, listen. If Arsenal, how much they're buying for?
Like 17, 18 million quid.
Ah,
yeah, peas, bro. From Anderlecht peas. It was a decent. It cost a change still.
When Anderlecht saw that fax, yeah, they're like, wow, 17, bro. Send him to that first class train.
Hey, whoever done the scouting needs to be watched seriously. I can't lie.
Are you serious? 17?
Yeah, 17, 18 million quid, man. Lokonga cost a decent amount, man. It might even be 20, but I'm pretty sure it's 17, 18, bro. Wow. You can't believe it.
Wow. Bro, are you like 17?
About 100%. Let me just type in Lokonga joins Arsenal.
Are you like 17 mil?
Yeah, he joined Arsenal. Bro, he cost a change still.
Oh my
Arsenal
God.
have completed the signing of Anderlecht midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga on a long-term contract. The fee, although undisclosed, is believed to be around 17.2 million for the Belgium under-21 international. You're doing him dirty, man. You can't believe it, man. We need to find that receipt still. I can't lie to you.
You know what I need to find out? Who did the scouting report?
That's what I'm saying, because maybe they're all in on it, man. They're all in it on it, surely.
Because that math is not mathing for me, bruv. 17 for that.
Hey, you're doing Lokonga dirty, man. I'm trying to stand by him. I hope Vieira can turn him into a player, but it looks bleak, man. Let's not waste any time on Lokonga, man. What do you make of Smith Rowe's injury? Someone who is quality. But...
You know what? He's a Helen boy, you know. So I always back the boy from the Helen, you know. So I'm like, I just want him to get a run of the game, just to get, you know, that feeling, get that confidence again. Because obviously right now, his confidence is low at the moment. You can see, you know, obviously when you're not playing and everybody's doing well, but you know, I want him to get that run of a game. But obviously, I would love to see him to get in a couple of games at the end of the season, because next season is a big season for everybody at Arsenal. You're involved in 4 or 5 competition.
Champions League, the big one.
Yeah, you know, squad rotation is massive for Arsenal. So, you know, last 10 games of the season, you want to see him get a run around, but it's all about also mentally. It must be tough for him. Must be very tough, you know. But Smith Rowe is the top. He's a top boy. I mean, he's only going to get better in the more game he plays.
You touched on it, you said next season, and I agree in terms of squad rotation is big. What have you made of squad rotation this season?
Not so good.
Why is that?
Because you become so predictable to play. If Arteta is a key, if Arteta's not changing the left back or the right back, everything's still the same. That's
Yeah.
the left back or the right back. That's the one that changed. Everything in the middle stay the same. Odegaard, Saka, Xhaka, and Partey. If Partey's fit, yeah. If Partey's not fit, it's Jorginho. Okay, Martinelli, Saka, and you've got Nketiah. That's it. So you're not making any change. And you know what? Arsenal, they're in the position of like Spurs. You know when Spurs went to the Champions League final, yeah? You know who's starting 11.
Yeah.
But then for you to attract other players, I know if I'm coming to Arsenal, am I really starting or you're going to play that man there already in front of me? Do you know what I mean? You're like, well, you're almost stuttering to say, well, if I'm gonna go there, I know if I'm a left winger, Gabriel will play ahead of me in the Premier League. So that's where I feel like Arteta experience as coach is completely different to people like Ten Hag and Jurgen and Pep.
And that.
Because I just feel like to manage a squad and to still get the most out of them, I don't think they need to do it better next season.
If I play devil's advocate, though, obviously, there was a time where, and I agree with for what it's worth, I feel when Arteta came in first, there was too much rotation, especially in the defense. Now there's not so much. But could you argue a big part as to why Arsenal are where they are in the league table? I don't check the league table, so I don't know. Is because they've kept the squad the same and the players the same for the vast part of it.
No, listen, keeping the same player is great, but you become so predictable to play.
Yeah, you need to evolve 100%.
You need to evolve. So, what's this week? Is it Leicester?
Yeah, Leicester away.
I know Brendan already know this is starting 11.
Yeah, he probably does know.
Like you and I know that's the same back four, unless Ben White come back in. Yeah,
Zinchenko will play at left back.
Zinchenko will play. Yeah, midfield three will stay the same. I don't know add anybody else. Three up front will stay the same.
Yeah, unless there's any injuries or anything.
Unless there's an injury, and that's the starting 11. Which means as a Leicester team, I will work on them. And I mean, I will get the guys who work on a TV behind, watch every single player that started Arsenal, watch the strengths and weaknesses, and play on that one because you'll become predictable. Whereas if you watch City or United, you can't predict. You can't predict.
Change up a little thing here and there. Yeah,
you can't predict the team that'll start against Newcastle on Sunday. You can't. You might guess who might. You might say Marcus Rashford. Yes, Marcus is star. But the rest is very almost questionable.
You don't really know, innit? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really so, Arteta at that side, I think he needs to get that squad rotation much better.
So what would you say is the weaknesses of that then? Because for me, as a fan just watching it, obviously we can't really break down low blocks. We can't really be direct because Jesus ain't there and Eddie's not there. If you kind of double up against Saka and Martinelli and isolate them, half the job's won. And you take advantage of us on the transition, especially with our high line and gaps in midfield. So where would our weaknesses come from then?
No, I mean, listen, if you watch the game against Brentford, one of the big thing what Brentford did, it just played the ball behind Arsenal. He played the ball behind Arsenal. That's where you get the joy of.
That's where it happens. Yeah, that's our Achilles heel at times. Yeah,
and also if you stop people who are more influential in the game, people like Martin Odegaard, people like Granit Xhaka, you stop them, have an influence in the game. You have a chance to win. You have a chance to win to beat Arsenal because those two literally carry everything and they make everything. So you stop those two, you have a chance to win the game. Whereas team like City or United or Liverpool, they've got different ally where if you stop this guy will pop in. If you stop this guy, this one will pop in. I don't think Arsenal have got to that stage yet.
So where are you at with Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko then? Because I think Zinchenko's been amazing. Obviously, his strengths are never going to be defensively. I do want to see Tierney get some game time. I would like to see Zinchenko in midfield. Do you think it's the beginning of the end for Kieran Tierney?
I mean, Kieran is just it's just unfortunate that he signed for a team where this guy really knows how to play that left back position. And it's unfortunate, obviously, Zinchenko he comes in and makes himself an extra midfield player. Then he goes up at the top, makes himself extra. So everything about Zinchenko, he's almost like this is what Arsenal wanted. Guaranteeing this, and he comes in brave. But in terms of football wise, I just feel that's why Pep is going towards Zinchenko. You know, he's been good servant to the club. He wouldn't mind if Arsenal cashing on him and move on. But it will also be down to him as well if he wants to move on.
That's the thing. Like, on one hand, I feel if we want to be competitive, we need different options. I feel if we
Yeah.
sell him for 30, 40 million, like they say, we're going to have to spend that on the next guy. He's 25. And obviously, as you know, you can't just rely on a player to stay fit for the vast majority of the
Yeah.
season. So I wouldn't want to get rid of him. What have you made of Trossard?
Trossard, you know what? He gives you something different. He gives you something that you can see why Arsenal went on to get him, because is so you cannot predict what this guy can do. He comes in inside, he comes outside, he runs you down the line. He's so flexible with his, he's be able to take on defender. But it's just that, as I said, Arsenal team is set in certain ways.
Set in stone, yeah, really.
So you're coming in, you're thinking you're not gonna start unless Martinelli is injured, unless Saka is injured. You're not starting. That's what will probably be the Achilles heel for Arsenal going forward. If you're gonna attract a player, that you should be able to say, you know what, I'll be able to change and twist and make things work for them, and that's what Arteta will need to do better going forward.
My last question for you then would be, obviously we've got a couple of players on loan. I just want to focus on Balogun. What do you make of Balogun? Do you recall him? Do you sell him? Where are you at with him? Because he's doing quite well over there in France.
Listen, he's at the taste of what's like to play man football. And in France, everybody sings high, all the good stuff about him. So you also, as a person, you got to think yourself, okay, then if I come back in, I know I won't be playing, bro. And that's just fact. Let's not kid ourselves. If I come back in, it's Jesus and Keta and me.
Maybe even the next guy as well.
And maybe the next guy. So either stay in France, kill it again, and PSG or one of the top team will come for me and move for there. That's what I think. But it's down to him. If you're gonna come back to London and challenge yourself and say you want to get into Arsenal, I would just stay where I am, and because he's playing. Who told you that when he comes back to Arsenal, he's going to even get on the bench?
This is what I was trying to tell when I do these live streams. Is there's no guarantee. There's only a certain amount of attacking players, etc. You can have on the bench, and this is his first real standout season. And it's almost like once you're a young player exposed to first team football, as you know, it's difficult to go back. You're playing week in, week out. You're playing with them star players. You're important to your team. It's difficult. It very is difficult. So, what would you do if you're asked? What would you do? Are you selling him? What would you do?
I'll just sell him. It's no problem. Sell him. Listen, it's just unfortunate at this present moment. We've got other guys who ahead of you, and we'll just, I don't know how much he's worth right now. Take something about 20 or 25, shake his hand, go on, because he's killing it in France, bruv. He's killing it.
He's killing
absolutely killing it in France. So why would you want to come back in and risk it? No, shake everybody's hand. Say, listen, I appreciate that. And it's unfortunate that we just couldn't make it happen for Arsenal and you move on with it.
I mean, some people are sitting there and saying, Eddie Nketiah versus Balogun, Eddie Nketiah, Balogun. I'm conscious that I've had you for a while, so I'm going to ask you this last one. How much would Eddie Nketiah be in the transfer market? And on top of that, would you rather sell Eddie or Balogun?
Well, I've seen Eddie play in the Premier League. So my thought would be I'll keep Eddie. But at the same time, though, Balogun hasn't been given a chance to play in the Premier League.
Yeah, you don't know what he's on until you give man a chance, innit?
So, but at the same time, though,